Alright, for this video, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I took my electric scooter, I went to my favorite local coffee roaster, and I got this limited edition light roast Ethiopian coffee that I've seen them post online that I really wanted to try. So, beautiful day outside, it's about 80 degrees. Took my scooter, got some B-roll, went down to Dark Horse Coffee Roasters here in Southern California. Got my bag, went home. I also stopped for some Carl Jr. fries on the way home just because, I wanted to treat myself a little bit. But now we're back, gonna get the Gaggia going and show you this beautiful coffee. Now, it is a pretty light roast and the beans look absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna show you that right here. If only you could smell them. They smell better than they look, but this video will have to do. So, like I said, I was super excited to try these beans out, and I usually will stop there and get a shot of espresso, but this time I wanted to go home and, make my own right when I got home, so I had to hold off. And here we go. We're going to do two different shots. This is the first one. This is going to be a 1-to-2 ratio. Just grinding my beans in my SD Turin version 2. Then we're going to tamp over here. Look how beautiful that is. Absolutely beautiful. Make sure my portafilter is nice and dry. Then we're going to go on and we're going to use our WDT tool. Break up any clumps. Make sure it's nice and even so we can tamp down. So I actually don't know or remember the company I got my WDT tool on. I know I got it on Amazon. But my tamper is from Normcore. It's the version 2 spring. So it has that, pre-force already. So you can't over tamp it, which I know is not really a thing. But I'm a beginner. I just started making espresso about 3 to 4 weeks ago. So I want to eventually learn how to tamp properly without having, kind of the auto force. But for now, I think it's the best for me. So here we go. We're going to make sure we have a nice even bed of coffee for when we tamp. And I want to make sure I break up all those clumps. Now, doing this whole process to me, I know some people, when you wake up in the morning and it's probably a little bit tiresome, you really don't want to do it. But even in the morning or in the afternoon or on my off day, it's very therapeutic. I actually really enjoy it. So we're going to have a nice bed of coffee going into here. So this is an 18-gram basket. From IMS. It's a nanotech basket, and I usually do between 17 and 18 grams. This is about 17.5, and look at that, as beautifully even and distributed and sexy. I like it. So we're gonna just try and negate the temperature surfing that Gaggia is known for by flushing out water and then letting it come to temp again. You'll see the light go on, and that's right when I will start my extraction. So I make sure everything's ready. I try and do this as quick as possible. Get my cup, ready. Get my scale ready. And then right when that light, it makes a little noise, and I'm ready to go. And here we go. We're going to pull this shot. See how it goes. Now, one thing that I noticed, at least for me, my Gaggia sometimes goes a little crazy. And it moves around a lot, so I have to kind of adjust it while it's going. Sometimes I have no problem. Sometimes it's a pain in my butt. But here we go. So this is going to be the 1-to-2 shot. I'm pretty sure I got like a gram under a 1-to-2 shot, but I kind of like it that way. And out of the 2 shots that I did, this was actually the better tasting. I could really get those notes that they described on the bag. It tasted really good. It was very balanced. It had a nice mouthfeel, at least for my preference. It was really good. And this was the setting I had for a previous bag of beans, so I kind of got lucky on this one. Then I wanted to pull one about the same amount of time, but I wanted to go about 10 grams higher, so about a 2.5 to 3 ratio, so 1 to 2.5 to 3. This was a 1 to 2, and this was my favorite, but some people really do like a little bit more of a body for their light roast, but for me, this is how I like it. So it was a pretty clean extraction. I liked it a lot. And I just gotta say, this coffee was absolutely delicious. Now, I always will wait about 2 to 3 minutes before I actually start drinking my coffee. So what I like to do is I like to wait about a minute, then I stir it and I really mix it around and try and get it all incorporated and as even as I can. And then I'll wait a little bit longer and I'll go in for the kill. So that's our first go at it. And like I said, it was my preference. It was really good. But I just wanted to try it because I've seen Lance Hedrick talk about how he likes to go about a 1 to 2.5 for light roast. So what I did is I went slightly higher. It was like 17.7 or 17.8, but I made it a little bit coarser just to kind of let it get around the same time, but let me get more of a yield. So this one went pretty fast. I think I might have gone a little too coarse because it started pulling in about 4 seconds. The other one took about 7 to 8 seconds, and it only took about 26 seconds to get 45 grams of coffee. So could have probably adjusted a little bit, but I still like the shot. It was still good. It was a little more acidic, and it didn't have, I like a more thick body. This one, obviously, it's a more of a yield, so it was a little bit prolonged, and it wasn't as thick. It had a softer mouthfeel, and that's not my preference for espresso. I usually like a medium roast, 1 to 2, or even sometimes a little bit under that, 1.5 to 1 to 2 ratio. So this one for me, not my personal favorite, but I can see how people like it. But I wanted to try both, and I got about 3 shots of espresso. The first one I drank fully because it was really delicious. This one I took about 2 sips, and then I dumped the rest down the drain. Unfortunately, I did waste it. But same thing here. I waited about 3 minutes before I started drinking it. Went in for a double take. I was like, let me try this again. But both were delicious. This coffee, definitely worth the hype and worth the wait that I had. And I just want to say shout out to Dark Horse, and thank you for watching the video. Tune in next time, and I'll see you guys for some more coffee.